Get over here!
Give it up for floor 5.
Yep, so here we are back in the Tower of Valni, and yeah, this is basically a continuation of the last episode, but this is a new recording session, as it were. And that's a lot of zombies. Okay. This shouldn't be too hard, though.
Yeah, there's the occasional Bone Walker that might have a weapon that's odd somehow, but other than that...
yeah, what I think we can do here is, kind of, like, put Garrick up here with a hand axe, because we gave him those now. Yeah, this will be easy, and he'll eat, any zombies for breakfast down there. So how's it going, man?
Yeah, going
Been
good.
A little bit. A lot of people really, like, got into the conversations we were having last time, and I was really happy to see that. Oh, crap!
We have a support ready already. Okay.
Wow, okay. What are your support levels at? Oh, yeah, that's the last one! Cool. Shall we?
Do you want to do it now, or do you want to dance for him so that he can take out that bowman?
Oh, you know what? That's actually a good idea. I didn't even consider that. And that way he can do it with the regular iron axe.
Yeah, because
we just have those zombies just crash into him.
Yeah, we could do that support anytime.
Yeah, sounds good to me. So we put him here, and he'll just take out all those zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe next turn do that support.
Sounds good to me.
I do not remember what we were talking about last time.
Well, we were talking about DC Comics and Marvel and
we were.
the Avatar: The Last Airbender, and talking about cartoons and whatnot.
That's right.
A lot of really, really good stuff. One thing I actually want to talk about today, which I find kind of funny. So, in between recording sessions, we actually had an interesting development in Fire Emblem Heroes. They released their new Valentine banner. And if anyone wants to talk about existential dread with Fire Emblem, it's that banner. It is a Sacred Stones banner.
Uh-oh.
And it's all about, like, you know, love and like, love and caring and, like, you know, being with your friends and whatnot. Here's the thing, though. The title of the banner is May This Last.
Oh, no.
And the units are, obviously, Ephraim. You have Myrrh. But also... we have a duo unit in the form of Erica and Leon.
Oh, you bastards.
And, even more so, two of the other units are Selena and Vigard.
Huh.
Emperor Vigard.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I discovered that's actually how you pronounce his name, is Vigard.
Oh, okay.
Which, honestly, like, thinking on it now, that actually makes a lot of sense.
That makes sense. That sounds good, too.
That is a pronunciation correction that I am perfectly fine with,
Yeah, I'll accept that. I've always said Vigarde, but...
Yeah, but, like, Vigard actually makes a lot of sense.
That sounds good.
Now that I think about it. So I'm fine accepting that. So yeah, I was like, everyone was like, anyone who doesn't know Fire Emblem or has never played Sacred Stones, they were like, oh, this is really cool. Selena looks so good. Oh, Erica and Leon are so cute. Here I am, someone who's played Sacred Stones, and I'm like, you guys don't understand the implications of this banner. It's not good.
Has there ever been anything that suggested that Selena had feelings for Vigard?
Yes, actually. Her whole character is that, like, she had... Maybe not, like, romantic feelings, but if there's one thing about Selena's character is that she is incredibly grateful to Vigard.
Yeah.
Because Selena became the floor spar when Vigard saved her village from starvation.
That's true.
So, ever since she became the floor spar, she's had, like, a undying admiration for Emperor Vigard. So much so to the point where it was hinted to be maybe a little bit romantic.
Yeah, I never saw romance there, but I mean, it doesn't not fit.
Yeah, like if anything, Selena would tell you that, like, I don't, like, love him romantically, I love him as a person who saved my life and saved the people that I cared about.
Kind of like Titania and being like with Grail.
Yeah, like,
but like
that one was
actually there
romantic.
are feelings under that, but most of the time she's just like, oh no, I just respect him a great deal.
Yeah, which she does. Titania definitely respected, like, Grail greatly. And I think a lot of that also had to do with the fact that now that I think about it, it could be very similar because, like, maybe Selena had a very, very big like that sort of like appreciative love for Vigard,
Yeah.
but she kept it professional, knowing that hey, Vigard was still a family man. Like he had a son, which like obviously implies that he had a wife. He had a queen. Whatever happened, I don't remember what happens to the Queen of Grado.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was ever.
I don't know if it was
discussed.
ever. I don't know if it was ever brought up.
I think she died when Leon was young, if not like in childbirth.
Yeah. And yeah, Titania is kind of in a similar vein there. Like she has a lot of respect for Grail. To the point where she had romantic feelings for him, but she kept it professional because Grail was a married man with a son.
Yeah.
And I imagine Titania might have a little bit of like, you know, she knows that she shouldn't do this, particularly because of the circumstances behind why Grail's wife died.
And that can be a tough thing of like, how long is long enough for him to mourn before she can, you know, express her feelings to him. I don't know if it would ever feel like a good time to do that.
Yeah, the funny thing is, and like I don't apply this to Vigard because like Vigard obviously like lost his marbles at some point. I'd be hard pressed to think that Grail's a smart guy. I think he was aware eventually that Titania might feel the way she does, but he never brought it up like for the sake of professionalism and not to make her feel awkward.
I think Vigard losing... I don't think he went mad the way most kings went mad. I think he died and got brought back as...
one of the remnants.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, that I remember was a detail. So yeah, like, I remember, like, Leon mentioned that Vigard had an illness. So it's not entirely like, out of the question to think, oh yeah, that illness took him, and then, like, for all we know...
yeah, I think he's kind of just a pawn of, Leon, and by extension, for Mortis.
Yeah, and, yeah, like, he eventually died from that whole spiel. And
from that damn disease. Silent Hill 2 reference for all of you.
Yep. And excuse me. Yeah, I'm willing to believe that Selena had that same feeling for Vigard, just much more professionally, because again, the circumstances they're in about like, you know, how long is too long for someone to mourn type of thing. Like we don't know the circumstances behind what happened with Vigard's wife.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing this game likes to showcase is what happens to people when they lose their loved ones. Hi, Orson.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I saw the banner in Fire Emblem Heroes, and it was like they played it very sweet. It was like very like cheerful. Like Leon, Erica, and Ephraim obviously cared about each other and everything. But I was just playing through that whole sub story of the game, and I was like, yeah, this is a little bit depressing. So that was funny.
Yeah, good job, Intelligent Systems.
Yeah.
Making everyone sad.
It was kind of sweet, though, too, because, like, Mer was a part of that banner as well, and she was kind of, like, expressing the whole thing, like, to Ephraim, and, like, expressing how much she appreciates him like a brother, sort of thing. She even, like, had an interaction with Selena, expressing that, like, you know, she was very grateful for everything that Selena did for her.
That's nice.
Because, yeah, like, the circumstances were not great, but, you know, Selena did care for Mer, like, in her own way. War is hell, man. Like, a lot of these people care about each other, and they're being torn apart like crazy. This is the kind of stuff that I liked about the old Fire Emblem games, is that, like, they definitely projected that a lot. Which, I will say, I think Three Houses did really well.
Three Houses does a good job with that.
Yeah, because it's like, oh yeah, we were all classmates at one point, now we're trying to kill each other. Like, damn.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciate it about
I'd even say Fates, you know, has elements of that.
Oh, they
at
do.
Least, like, do feel like they're at war. In Engage, I don't always feel like there's actually people living in these countries.
Yeah, like, the thing with Engage is that, like, they tried to do that, like, they tried to do, like, something about that with, like, you know, the Four Hounds and whatnot, but it kind of just came off as a bit, how do I put this, tongue-in-cheek?
I guess, yeah.
Like, in the same vein with, like, Lumera And the Four Hounds is like, okay, guys, the cutscene's been going on for 10 minutes. Say your goodbyes and freaking die already.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If, like... Because the defense... Sorry, I'm being negative of Engage again.
You're fine, dude.
Sorry, Engage likers.
Dude, you're fine, dude.
But...
Like, we like what we like, we don't like what we don't like.
And, like, sometimes what it said is, like, at least Engage knows what it is, and it's just, like a silly little story that doesn't, like... I don't know if that's always true, because if it knew that it was just a silly story that you don't take seriously, I don't think it would spend 15 minutes on each of the Four Fangs death scenes.
Four Hounds. Four Fangs is Blazing Sword.
Sorry, yeah, the bargain bin Four Fangs.
Yeah. Wait, that's another thing. I cared way more about Lloyd, Linus, Ursula, and Jafar than I ever did about the Four Hounds.
And, like, I am not giving Engage a fair shake, but that's because everything told me not. Like, after how, like, insignificant everything in the plot felt up till that point, when they kill off that one character, like, minutes after, you know, trying to paint her as sympathetic, like, I just kind of felt insulted.
A little bit. It's the kind of situation where it's like, you know, how much are you going to make us care about this character? Especially because she was an absolute asshole throughout the entire thing, and then you have this one chapter where she has a tragic backstory, and it's like, you know what, guys? Lead with that!
Yeah.
You know, like, lead with that. Like, let us know earlier that something, like, is going on here, instead of, like, trying to make her sympathetic at the very last minute, you know?
It's interesting because, and you and I have talked about this a little bit, and
yes.
I mentioned it on Twitter, but I'm playing Advance Wars now.
Uh-huh.
And that's such an interesting, like, counter-argument to this whole case, because I've been planning on playing Advance Wars for a really long time. I've even played Wargroove, which is inspired off of it.
Oh yeah, Wargroove is basically, like, the continuation of Advance Wars, in my opinion.
So I'm finally playing it through Reboot Camp on the Switch.
Which is great, by the way.
And I never knew, like, what the story was or how the story was told. So I was caught off guard how, like, inconsequential a lot of, like, how Saturday morning cartoonish it is.
Oh yeah, very.
Like, because in Fire Emblem, at least in, like, GBA and Tellius Fire Emblem, it's treated as, for the most part, when a unit's HP hits 0, they are dead, or at least grievously injured.
Yes.
If you are trying to recruit somebody back in these games and they hit 0, they're done for. And all the NPCs or all the, like, enemy soldiers that you fight, you are killing them.
Yeah.
It was only later with, like, maybe, like, certain times in, like, Awakening and Fates and stuff where they'll be like, oh, they actually just, like, knocked out everybody, and, like, something like, oh, we're not killing people, like, being weird stuff like that, or started really doing a lot of, like, the boss gets away after you defeat them.
Yeah.
In Advance Wars, it's like, because it's not like a permadeath thing. It's all the units are generic soldiers and tanks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and they're expendable.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not even like they're actually people, because, like, at no point do any of the characters act like there's any, like, sense of loss for all the lives being sacrificed on this plot.
I remember there was, like, one copy of a game. I don't remember what it was, but it was, like, Advance Wars...
Dark Dawn or something like that, I think, is, like...
Was that it?
Oh, wait, no, that's the Golden Sun game.
Oh.
On the 3DS.
But it was, like, Dark something.
Yeah.
But it was, like, it was meant to be a much more, like, serious Advance Wars.
The one on the DS.
And from what I to understand, it wasn't really received all too well. Like, it wasn't, like, a bad game, like, from what I'm to understand. But no one seemed to, like, grasp onto it, compared to how people really like the original Advance Wars games.
Yeah. But, like, weirdly, this is working better for me.
Ooh,
because
good find, Tethys.
Once I got used to the idea that, like, oh, okay, we're just, like, treating the soldier, like, we're just, like, pretending there's no casualties. We're just, like...
Yeah, like, these are genuinely,
those, like,
pieces on a board.
Because you'll, like... Yeah, and once you get into that admittedly weird mindset, like, the Saturday morning cartoon plot kind of makes sense. And also, it's just kind of, like, very, very simple.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's a better example of, like, oh, this story knows what it is, it doesn't take itself too seriously.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I was willing to give Engage a fair shake at one point, like, knowing the fact that it was a very fan-servicey game. But then later down the line, when I started, like, you know, looking at it in perspective of everything else, and, like, looking at other plots that don't take itself too seriously, like you just mentioned, like, Advanced Wars, is like, yeah, you know what, like, I understand if, like, these games know what they are, but if you're going to lean towards the silly, lean towards the silly!
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, make it very over the top. Like, I would not have minded if Engage was basically just, hey, this is good guys versus bad guys, and we're going to be, like, a very, like, DC heroic type of, like, character where we're beating the bad guys who are very evil, very, like, you know, unsympathetic. These, like, Lord Sombron is this, like, maniacal monster who needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to lean into that, you know? You can have all the nuance, and you can have, like, the, more, like, fun, like, existential stuff in just support conversations, you know? Like, oh, hey, like, Fogado, like, is talking to, Fogado is talking to, what's his name? The priest guy. Pandreo.
Pandreo, yeah.
Pandreo, like, I actually really like the conversation between them where, like, Fogado is, like, secretly, like, actually very afraid of everything.
There's some good support conversations.
And Pandreo is like, dude, I know you're hiding something from me. Talk to me. And he admits that he's very scared. That's cool. The conversation between Yunaka and Citrine, where Yunaka reveals her whole backstory and what her motivations were, that's cool. Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to lean towards the silly, just lean towards the silly and the over-the-top, you know? I don't need to know about the fact that Lord Sombron and, what's-her-face, the, lady from the from the Four Hounds?
Yeah.
I forget her name, that's how bad it is. I don't need to know about how, she secretly wanted a family and apparently offered Lord Sombron to have one with him.
And even if you want to do that, there's ways to say that in a lot less time. Mm-hmm. I know this is rich coming from us because Green Scorpion is famously the countdowns that are really, really long.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
fair.
I say this because it is hard. It is sometimes hard to write things briefly.
Yes, fair.
But brevity is the soul of wit, and sometimes, like, you look at, like, Mustafa from Fire Emblem Awakening,
absolutely,
who is there for practically no time, and yet is this, like, beloved minor character.
It is incredible just how much people fell in love with Mustafa.
He speaks maybe 100 words total.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. And there is something, like, very profound about what he's about. And we get this sense of, like, oh, he doesn't want to be here, he has morals, but, like, also he feels a need to, like, and it's just good, and it doesn't... The engaged version of that scene would take, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that, like, in Awakening, the way it's, like, framed, right?
Yeah.
We already are highly emotionally charged. We already had a whole chapter where Emerin sacrificed herself, Crom and Lissa and the entire army is on an emotional high, and then they set up the entirety of, what's the enemy country again?
Gangrel
is
in charge of it.
But you know what I mean. Like the enemy country is framed to be like irredeemable. Like they are it is a reprehensible country that knows only war.
They are the evil country.
And then they introduce Mustafa for this one chapter, and they frame it so well. Is like
Plagia or Plagia.
Plegia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually pronounced Plegia from what I understand. But like, yeah, it's that whole spiel of they frame it, they set it up, and not even have to introduce Mustafa for it at all until the final moment to bring us a character that actually kind of gives a crap.
Yeah.
And the way they did, like, Renewal is, like, easily one of my favorite chapters in all of Fire Emblem. We don't have anything more here, so we could do this with Tethys and Garrick if you want.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Chief? There's actually one thing I've been wanting to ask you.
And what's that?
Sorry if this brings up any bad memories, but how'd you get that scar on your face?
This? I got this beauty when I had just started out as a mercenary. I was still a novice, but I was feeling pretty good about my swordsmanship. I got to a point where I was arrogant enough to believe no one could best me. Then one day it happened. It's something I've never been able to forget.
What happened?
It was just another battle. I'd been hired on as another sword, and then I met him. He was a knight from some country or another. I'd fought knights on several other occasions and had beaten them all. Even though he was a bit tougher, I was sure I'd defeat him in the end. That's what I thought. But his strength was beyond me. I may as well have been using a broomstick to fight. I remember thinking, what a tiny little world I've been living in. He crushed me effortlessly, and the wound he inflicted became this lovely scar.
I see.
I was truly frightened. It was the first time I'd experienced fear as a mercenary. So this knight saw how scared I was and said, "Go." He didn't kill me. He let me escape. I was humiliated and ashamed. My eyes were finally open to my own weakness. It goes without saying, I lost every shred of self-confidence. I still dream about it sometimes. Wakes me up every time. I've never forgotten that night. He thought I was weak and pathetic.
Chief.
I was young and stupid. This scar is my punishment.
But that night spared your life. Because of that, good things and better things have happened.
What do you mean, Tethys?
First of all, Chief, you're alive. If you had died, all the good times you've had since that day, and all the joy you're sure to have from this day onward, wouldn't exist. And another thing, because you lived, you made many friends, and you met me. I also don't think that knight thought you were pathetic. I think he saw a young man with his whole life ahead of him. That's why he let you go.
Tethys.
Yep, I'm sure that's it. So try thinking about it in a more positive light.
You're right. I was a lot calmer after that. And while I've had hard times, there have been far more good times. I guess you could say I owe my success as a mercenary to that knight.
Yep, you've got your knight, and I've got my dancer. Thanks to the two of them, the two of us are here now. Say, Chief, why don't we become like them? I think we should work at being inspirations to other people.
Good idea. Thanks, Tethys. I think I'll sleep soundly tonight.
Good. You know, Chief, I'm really happy.
Yeah, me too. I've got a life I enjoy and good companions. All that, and a wonderful woman to love. Everyone should be so lucky.
Oh, Chief.
Whoa! Hey now, this is a battlefield. This isn't the place for that.
No one's looking.
Oh, alright.
They are kind of on a secluded part of the map right now.
You know what? That was a good time to do that.
Yeah.
Hey! Way to go, guys.
Garrick and Tethys scored.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm going to admit, that's another thing that I've seen people, like, kind of express when it comes to Fire Emblem. They miss A supports like that. Where it's like, you know, you work for it, you go for it, and, like, not all of the A supports are going to end up romantically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there are those that do, and it's very heavily implied that they do.
It's kind of, like, more rewarding if it doesn't happen with all of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually one, support conversation that I really liked, in Awakening, right? So, you know how, like, all the characters, like, do end up, like, with each other, like, at the end because of, like, how the child mechanic works?
Anybody that you've A-supported, pretty much, yeah.
There is one that I've always loved that does not actually end up like that.
Yeah.
Owain and Lucina.
Well, that would make sense because they're cousins.
Yeah, but, like, here's the thing. The way it's framed is actually really cool because, like, you know how, they tag it as, like, oh, like, this was the wife and this is the husband or whatnot.
Yeah.
If you look at it when Lucina and Owain, get the S support, they're, like, it's tagged as life partners.
Okay.
So they're basically just, like, cousins that, like, are at each other, like, with each other.
Ride or die.
Like, ride or die type of thing. I've always liked that, honestly. It was actually kind of cool to see that. So, that's just me, honestly, but, like, I always found that neat.
That is neat.
I'm gonna basically just have, him do this.
Okay.
Because...
Are you gonna have Sade go for that chest?
Yes. Mainly because I don't want to use too much of those, those 2 weapons that Erica has. We need more weapons, man. Okay, we're not quite at support yet, but we can at least do this.
Yeah, between chapters, we're probably gonna have to borrow weapons from other units we're actually using.
No fooling. Or we could, like, because one thing I know we're running out of is swords. But that's also because we have a lot of characters that use swords.
Yeah, I guess we could switch to characters that don't use swords.
You have a steel sword though that I think Erica can borrow. Because I don't mind him like just using axes at this point.
And we were thinking of actually putting in Myrrh.
Yeah, that's right. Because like while we have a plan for Myrrh, later down the line that like is going to really help her grow. It's not gonna hurt us to get her at least a few levels here in the Tower of Valni. It's like, yeah, like, her Dragonstone is limited, but 50 charges is 50 charges. That's still plenty.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would like us to, like, maybe have, at the very least, 20 charges by the time we hit the final chapter.
Okay.
So as long as we don't go past 30, we should be good.
Chapter 20 is the one that really benefits Myrrh.
Absolutely.
Because I believe the monsters will never actually attack her.
That's what I understand, yeah. And again, like, it's kind of funny because, like, you brought that up, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I never noticed that.
Yeah, the only thing is if you have her attack the boss will attack her.
Yeah, because, obviously, it's the boss. But then again, like, a similar situation, like, that did not happen with, in Radiant Dawn with Deginsia.
Yeah.
Because
which I had completely forgotten about at the time. But...
Yeah, no, like, when we rediscovered that, I was like, that's really cool! I actually kind of like the idea of, like, if you fulfill certain conditions and do certain things with certain characters, something gets affected. Like,
yeah.
I actually do like it when games do that. Oh, okay, cool.
That's gonna help us buy weapons.
Mm-hmm. No, we're like, we have plenty of cash in the convoy right now, but we are definitely going to need, we're definitely going to need a lot of it to resupply, because we're running out.
I think we get more cash after Chapter 19, also.
That's good. Oh, yeah, because,
Ralston
supplies us.
Yeah.
Well, that's another chest key to resupply the one we lost. I see where they were going with that there.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to bring your own chest keys, though.
You know what? I don't mind if he uses the Wormslayer a little bit, though something tells me that Wormslayer will come in handy, later on, because I think we're going to be dealing with some dragons.
Yes, there is a dragon enemy in this game.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that later.
Plus there's wyverns, but, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at this point, I think we can just have these guys, handle the rest here.
Yeah, so we got Ephraim and Dusel supporting. Yeah, also if we bring Myrrh in, we can try and A support her with Soleil.
Yeah.
Well, I doubt we'll get all the way to A support, but we can at least start that.
Mm-hmm. Another possibility, if you really, really wanted to, is Myrrh can also A support with Ephraim.
That's true.
So it depends on which one we want more. Do we want him in Dusel, or do we want him in Myrrh?
Doesn't really matter. I feel like we're going to use both of them
anyway.
Equal amount.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I love the support conversation between him and Myrrh.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah. Why don't we try that? Like, I do wish we kind of started doing it earlier. But hey, Tower of Valni is a good place to do it. So yeah, I'm down to bench Dusel for the rest of it and bring Myrrh in.
That sounds good.
All right.
Dusel does not need the experience.
He does not. He does not. I mean, Myrrh kind of doesn't either, but at the same time... Myrrh's weird, because, like, she does need the experience, but at the same time, she's also OP as crap anyway. So, it's a little interesting.
I was trying to remember, because I was thinking about dragons lately.
Yeah?
It being the Year of the Dragon now.
Oh yeah, happy Lunar New Year, everybody.
We went to a pretty cool Lunar New Year party last night.
It was awesome.
When we did top 10 dragons... Did we have a Fire Emblem dragon on there?
Tiki.
It was Tiki.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, honestly, makes too much sense, because,
Yeah.
like, Tiki is basically the matriarch of the Fire Emblem
I think
franchise.
that's still the choice to make, yeah.
I agree. Like, especially after Awakening, and them pulling that really, really cool bit where, like, oh, hey, now we have Tiki again, but as a grown-up. And that was really, really cool. I really like the context behind what was going on there with Tiki.
Yeah, I like how they actually connect to Shadow Dragon.
Yeah, I'm fine bringing Mur in now. Get her some levels, and just don't go too crazy, obviously, and we can support her with Ephraim. Yeah, I like this idea, actually, now that I think about it. I'd completely forgotten that she could support with Ephraim.
Okay.
For a moment there.
If we're keeping Erica, we need to resupply her.
Yeah.
But we don't have to keep Erica, or we can give her some of Joshua's swords and drop Joshua out for Franz or something.
Let me look at what we got here. So yeah, these two definitely. Garrick and Sade can, I think, still stay in. Because, like, Garrick is... What I'm liking about this is that Garrick is also getting, weapon level with those axes.
Yeah.
So, like, he can stay in for that. Yeah, if we want, we can, like, get some of the others, like Franz, Marissa, maybe. I'm almost tempted to bring Cyrene just in case, like, we want another flyer. In case something might happen. I don't know.
I mean, I think we probably will have to bring Cyrene into Chapter 20 just because we won't have enough units without her.
Yeah, you want to build up Cyrene a little bit?
Okay.
Like, why not, right? Yeah, let's bring in Marissa. Let's bring in Franz. We can choose one more.
I think we still should bring Erica because she's one unit we absolutely know is going to be in every chapter.
Then in that case, let me see if anyone has some spare swords that we can use. Because, yeah, we've run out of swords, is the problem.
Okay, maybe.
Oh, wait a second!
Oh, you can actually go to the armory.
I forgot we could do this!
I didn't know you could go to the armory from here.
Yeah, let's just grab her a couple of swords.
That'll work.
I completely forgot we can access the armory from the prep screen. Oh, that's so nice.
We're like halfway up a haunted tower. Why?
I don't know. I'm guessing like the convoy has it.
Man, there really are Walmarts everywhere.
Hello, welcome to the Tower of Valni convenience store. How may I help you?
Or we just like Amazon it.
Do we want to just sell that blue gem right out of the gate then?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, this works out too, because we can grab Sade a fire spell so that he's not using those more potent spells. He can use lightning? I forgot about that!
Oh yeah, yep, Sage.
Actually, I'm gonna grab him a lightning spell! We're dealing with monsters!
Yeah. And
in that case, actually, yeah, let me see who else might need another resupply. No one really. Yeah, I think we're good there.
Okay. Let's take a look at the map, see if there's any chests that...
Let me actually do one last thing. I am actually going to bench Marissa, because I think I want to keep Inez in for the support with Erica.
Sounds good. Do you want to get him iron bow instead of his really good bows?
That's okay. That's actually a good call. I mean, he has a steel bow, but it's gonna run out. So yeah, let's here, we can do this. Supply, we'll give up that elixir, and we'll grab an iron bow. Do we have one? Oh, we have actually a spare steel bow, so let's just run those now.
Okay.
Okay, now we're good. So what do we do? Oh, Jesus. Oh, walls.
Okay, we got one chest.
2, 3, 4 chests. Okay. I know who to bring for that then. Let's have Mur carry a couple of chests, and we'll keep Erica nearby, because then we can just resupply from the convoy.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we got level 11 Bone Walkers and Revenants here, so these guys are a little bit stronger. Still, I'm not too worried about this. You good?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been quite an interesting month. Like, have you noticed that everyone's been getting sick?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, Winter be like that, though.
Mm-hmm. Ay, madre mia!
Yeah, she is a nuke.
Oh, I just realized her Dragonstone is super effective against monsters, too.
Yep.
Did not know that. I want to see how much experience she gets from this Bone Walker.
Okay.
If we want to at least give it a shot.
Let's do it. I do love how smooth that
animation is so good. Yeah, she gets a lot of experience here. So yeah, I'm down with this. Holy smoke, Myrrh. Yeah, that is such a smooth animation.
She's not even taking a lot of damage from these guys.
Nah, she can easily. I vote we give her the boss kill.
Okay.
So we can do that when the time comes. Yeah, let's have Cyrene do this. You should be able to handle this guy, right? Just barely,
Yeah.
but you can. Yeah, unfortunately, Cyrene's power is not the greatest. I imagine you could probably mitigate that a little bit if you gave her an energy ring. But that's also using an energy ring on a unit that you're probably not going to end up using.
Yeah, you get her so late in the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's what I'm proposing. We send 4 units this way, and we send 4 units up here. One of them being Erica, so that she can, like, supply and get these chests.
Okay.
By the way, I just realized... Oh, these are whites!
Okay, so slightly stronger Bone Walkers.
Yeah. You can tell the difference because they have the shields up.
Yeah.
Huh. Alright. Good to know. Yeah, this shouldn't be too problematic. I don't want to use a Siege Land on that. Can you... Oh, this'll work. And then she can just use an Iron Sword.
Yeah, I don't know if the monsters are going to break down the walls themselves.
Oh yeah, they are. Guys? Yeah? Is it proper for us to be busting down the walls that these people built, like, built with their bare hands trying to kill these monsters? Erica, this tower is doomed. I mean, I know, but... Now is not the time to be worrying about sentimentality. You're right. Sorry.
What I want to know is how they got through these rooms in the first place. There aren't any doors.
Yeah, do we want to talk about that?
I'm not sure what the architect was doing here.
So funny bit that I'm suddenly reminded of. Really out of pocket bit here. But have you ever watched Buzz Lightyear of Star Command?
Yes, but I don't think I'd be able to quote it.
I mean, not quote it, but have you ever watched like the Saturday morning cartoon?
Oh yeah, back with Nova and Booster. And,
Yeah.
XR.
So I just found it like a little bit funny because there is actually an example of this type of architecture where there's no doors, and that's when they go to Mira Nova's planet. Because
they can phase through walls.
Yep, they have ghost powers, so they just phase through the walls like it's nothing. And the rest of the characters, like Buzz, Booster, and XR, are like, guys, this seems a little bit inconvenient for any visitors.
That makes sense.
So I just found that kind of funny that they did that.
I always thought it was interesting in Danny Phantom how when you're in the ghost zone, ghosts can't turn intangible because everything is made out of ghost property, but if Danny turns human, he's the ghost.
Yeah, that was
he can phase through everybody.
That's how they dealt with Walker.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of Danny Phantom, can I just express how much I love Walker as a character?
Walker was one of the
Walker was
villains.
amazing.
And that's saying a lot. That was a good show for villains. He had a great rogues gallery.
I just want to make it clear that I'm your executioner, your policer, your executioner, your prosecutor, and your executioner. You said executioner 3 times. I like that part of the job. Danny Phantom was great.
We don't fight on Christmas. It's a rule.
Oh yeah, the Christmas special?
Yeah, ghosts don't fight on Christmas.
I kind of like the aspect of Danny where, like, eventually he does end up kind of just befriending all the ghosts. He, like, he ended up fighting, like,
there are plenty of times where there is a bigger threat to all ghost kind that ghosts will, work together.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they're fighting the Ghost King, or when...
the missile that would destroy the world.
Yeah.
What was the plot of that one? I think that was Vlad Plasmius' thing?
That was...
No, it wasn't Vlad, because Vlad was, like, basically AWOL after that one.
That was the series finale, but there was a meteorite made of ectotonium, I think was the material. So, like, ghosts couldn't touch it.
Yeah.
It was made of the anti-ghost stuff.
Yeah, and I think I remember now, Vlad tried to, like, harness that.
Yeah, Vlad, like... reveals himself as Vlad Plasmius and, like, basically says, like, you're going to make me the ruler of the world and give me a lot of money and stuff in exchange for me going up and stopping the meteorite. But after they do that, he finds out it's ectoranium and he can't just phase it. So he, like, goes off then and he exiles himself.
Exiles himself, but at the same time also kind of, like, regrettably, like, feels like he has to... I just realized something. Does she count as a flyer?
I don't think so.
Because this guy's got a longbow.
Do you want to rescue her just in case?
I mean, yeah, probably, but it's like, again, it's Myrrh. We might be worried about nothing.
It might be.
But I'm playing it safe.
We're gonna feel really dumb if she gets killed.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, yes. That is a headache I do not want to deal with. Yeah, these guys have longbows, jerks. Gee, all the Bone Walkers have longbows. Jerks. Well, alright then, I guess we're dealing with that.